concept today on BKRsport. We're going to be chatting about a player in the NRL who has gone from one team to another team, the West Tigers to the Manly Sea Eagles, and that is obviously Luke Brooks. And what my thoughts are of this move, because if you guys have been watching my channel for a long time now, you know that when we're doing our live streams that we do for pretty much every single game, I've always been saying for the last couple of years, Luke Brooks is not good at the Tigers. It just wasn't working out. Whether it's the system that he's in, the organisation, or it just wasn't working out for him. I always said, if he moves to another team, I do think that he will succeed and will be a baller. I can't remember when I've said it throughout my streams because there's been a lot of streams throughout time, but the OGs know. You guys know I've always been a big fan of the potential that Luke Brooks can provide. And it's been unfortunate that he's been at the Tigers for so long because I've been saying it for years now. And I think I wanted to make this video today because I've been noticing that a lot more people are really coming around to that, which is great. However, I do also believe that we're getting to a point now where people are starting to overrate it a little bit. It happens quite a little bit where you'll get a player who, you know, people don't really like or don't think is that good, and then we'll get a couple of murmurs here and there. I know myself, I was one of them. I would assume probably Guru was another one of them. And there's a lot of people in the community who did know what Luke Brooks can go forward with, right? And look, I think the Tigers, their fans, they have valid reasoning as to why they didn't think that Luke Brooks was good. You know, it was a long time between drinks. He won the 2018 Dally M Halfback of the Year, if I'm not mistaken, and that set up a lot of expectations for him at a club that obviously is struggling off the field and on the field. And yes, he was a big part of that. We can't pretend like Luke Brooks was this fantastic player at the West Tigers who was just game after game after game holding the line and the rest of the team was falling apart. No, he was a part of it. However, you could see through his game that he was better than what he was producing at the Tigers. And that's why we were always saying, like, once he leaves and goes somewhere else, he's going to succeed. And I think that Manly Sea Eagles are probably one of the better teams for him to succeed at. I think that, you know, I love this move. I think that it will be a great one for him to be partnering Daly Cherry Evans. They've got Croker in the number 9. He's okay, he's fine. And then you've got, hopefully, Tom Trbojevic as the fullback. Obviously, we all know about his injury concerns and the constant injuries. Like, touch wood, I hope that he is fine for the season in 2024 because he could, honestly, be back in the Dally M race. Like, Tom Trbojevic is starting to become a little bit underrated in the sense that people forget how good he can be. He can be unbelievable. He can be the best player in the game. It's just those frequent injuries that really hamper what he can produce on a long-term season level, right? So, really looking forward to seeing what Manly can do this year, especially with Luke Brooks, the 5'8". They haven't really had... Well, they had Kieran Foran, obviously, and he was doing a great job for them. But then, obviously, Fozza has moved to the Gold Coast Titans. Yippee, love Fozza at the Gold Coast. And they've been really trying to trial out who they're going to play in their 6. And Josh Schuster, for me, not a 6 man. Obviously, I'd put him into the forwards. I just don't really vibe it. It's just not really kind of what I've enjoyed seeing. I never really thought that it would work well with Manly either. He's a bigger body. I think that he can play a lot more of a passing game throughout the back row. And yeah, I would have preferred him not to move that 5'8", but I know that that was something that was desperate that he wanted to do, and the club obviously saw something in that. So I think that, look, this is definitely an improvement here for Manly. Now, I do want to temper expectations a little bit though, because I am seeing people say, or some guy from News Corp saying, and again, I will reiterate, that is just some guy, just like me. I'm just some guy. It's always just somebody's opinion, right? So nobody is wrong here. You can think he can win the Dally M, and you can think that he'll lead Manly to last. There is no wrong here. This is just a prediction. It's just an opinion. Now, I want to really reaffirm that for people that when you're talking about opinions, it doesn't mean you're right. If you're talking about like in the past and you're going based off stats and whatnot, and you're going based off facts, then yeah, there's probably going to be somebody who's right. But when you're going based off of the future and what you believe can come from Luke Brooks this year, neither side is right until we actually see it, right? But what I'm saying here is we've seen people come out and say that Luke Brooks is a chance to win the Dally M. I think that's just a media headline that they want to get clicks on it and people just scoff it and go, oh my God, here we go again. Someone's overrating somebody. You know, what a stupid headline. And for me, it is a stupid headline. I don't think that Luke Brooks is Dally M caliber, you know, winning the best player in 2024 up against guys like Nathan Cleary, up against guys like even potentially Latrell Mitchell, you know, who has been a little bit down lately, again because of injury, but also the Rabbitohs have just been, as a whole, not as great without Wayne Bennett there and Jason Demetrio as coach. You know, there's so many players that you come to mind It's not Luke Brooks. Luke Brooks doesn't come to mind. Now, I do believe he meshes well with this system, but you've also got to remember that the Dally M's are, unfortunately, if you've got a team full of star players, right, it is actually very difficult for you to win the Dally M, and also you have to be winning, right? Now, we have to assume Manly's winning. So let's assume Manly's winning. Let's assume that Manly is going great guns in 2024. You've got Cherry Evans, who can get Dally M points. You've got Tom Trbojevic, hopefully he's getting Dally M points. You know, you've got Ola Kawatu, who'll take Dally M points there, but probably on the lesser side. But if I'm looking at Cherry Evans and I'm looking at Luke Brooks taking points off each other, I don't really think that Luke Brooks is going to be able to consistently go head-to-head with those two guys, let alone the rest of the competition, because there are players in this Manly side that can take Dally M points away from them. And again, I just don't think that Luke Brooks is going to be that main man for the club. Like, if you're looking at main man, you're looking at Cherry Evans, and you're looking at Tommy T. You're not looking at Luke Brooks. Luke Brooks doesn't need to have these expectations. And I don't want Manly fans to go into this season with the expectations like he's going to be the best that ever was. I think you need to understand that, look, don't expect him to take time to get involved in this system. I think that he can start off running. I think he can start off very, very well. But again, very, very well isn't the best. And there are other guys there who are still going to be taking the light off of Luke Brooks. Now, is it completely out of the question that he could win 5'8" of the year? Not necessarily, but, you know, you've got Ezra Mam at the Bronx. You know, you've got Jerome Luai at the Panthers. You've got Dylan Brown at the Eels. You know, you've got all these guys elsewhere. Storm, Cameron Munster. I don't even know why I didn't think of him straight away. You've got all these guys there that you need to expect that Luke Brooks goes above. So, look, is it out of the question completely for 5'8" of the year? Not necessarily. Unlikely, heavily unlikely, but not completely out of the question. Dally M Player of the Year, for me, is out of the question. I would put it as a 0% chance. I guess you have to put it as a 0.0000001% chance because there technically is a chance. But the point of the matter is let's not go into the season giving him these really high expectations and necessities. Back him in for sure. Say, yeah, he's going to be good. But I really hope that Manly fans don't just turn him like that if he doesn't perform to the expectations that the media is kind of throwing out there right now. Again, I've been a massive supporter of Luke Brooks when he was at the Tigers to move away from there and become the player that we know he can achieve. But now that he's away, it's kind of annoying me seeing just these lofty bar, you know? And if he finishes underneath that, people are going to be like, oh, well, you know, shit house. I said, well, no, just because he didn't win Dally M 5'8" of the year or Dally M Player of the Year does not mean that he was shithouse. He will improve. He will be in a better team. But let's also not forget that I don't believe Manly weren't a quality team in 2023 just because of the 5'8". I think there's still quite a few places in the team that does need to be worked on, to be fair. And again, we have to rely on Tommy T to stay healthy the entire season. But I do think there's still things that need to be worked on Manly. So hopefully this is a big part about them taking that next step forward to get back into the frame of things. But I think that people just need to control their high hopes, is what we'll say. Their high hopes for what Luke can do. But I do think that he will do well, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing Manly get back into the frame of things and Luke Brooks really meshing well with this Manly Seagulls side. But that's what we have to say about this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you think Luke Brooks will do well at Manly? Do you think that, unfortunately, people are setting too high expectations? What do you think of Manly going into 2024? So let us know in the comments section. Appreciate you as always. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here, baby. Let's smack it. Let's get 25K. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.